Look around. Life is a masterpiece of variety, yet every single living thing follows a strict set of rules. This is genetics, the scientific study of genes and variation in living organisms. At its heart is heredity, the biological process where parents pass down certain genes to their offspring. It is why you have your father's nose or your grandmother's laugh. It all started with a monk named Gregor Mendel in the 1850s. While the world thought traits just blended like paint, Mendel looked at pea plants and saw something else. He tracked specific traits, which are simply distinguishing characteristics belonging to an organism. By breeding thousands of plants, Mendel discovered that inheritance isn't a messy blend. It is a precise calculation of factors we now call genes. But what is the ink used to write these instructions? That would be DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, made of individual units called nucleotides: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. To understand how these traits move, we have to look at the storage. Most of the time, your DNA looks like a pile of loose spaghetti called chromatin. When a cell is ready to divide, it packs into tight, X-shaped suitcases called chromosomes. Each gene has a specific address on these chromosomes called a locus. When a chromosome copies itself, it forms two identical halves called sister chromatids. Now, if this deep dive into your biological code is hitting the spot, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and share this with your fellow science nerds. Don't let your friends stay in the dark. Let's grow this community and unlock more mysteries of life together. Now, back to the science. Let's count the suitcases. Your body cells are diploid, meaning they have two full sets of chromosomes, one from each parent, totaling 46. Your sex cells are haploid, containing only half that number, so that when they combine, the math equals a perfect 46. There are two ways cells copy themselves. Mitosis is the clone machine, where one diploid cell makes an exact copy for growth and repair. Meiosis is the diversity machine, a two-step division resulting in 4 unique haploid cells with shuffled genetic info. Let's get into the code. A gene is a segment of DNA that holds the recipe for a trait, while an allele is the specific version of that trait. For example, if the gene is eye color, then the allele is brown eye color. Now, you have to understand that not all alleles are equal. This is because of a power struggle called dominance. Dominant alleles are the strong versions that win the expression battle. In genetics, we always write them with a capital letter. Recessive alleles are the shyer versions. They stay hidden whenever a dominant one is present, and we always write them in lowercase. When you have two of the same alleles, for example, capital B or lowercase b, you are homozygous, also known as a purebred. But if you have one of each allele, like a capital B and a lowercase b, you are heterozygous, often referred to as a hybrid. It is important to keep in mind that a heterozygous pair always contains a dominant allele, which means the dominant trait will be the one that shows up physically. We can predict these combinations using a tool called a Punnett square. Finally, we distinguish between the code and the result. Your genotype is your hidden genetic blueprint, the actual letters in your DNA, while your phenotype is the physical expression we see with our eyes. Think of it this way. If brown eye color is dominant over green, we use a capital B for brown and a lowercase b for green. If your genotype is capital B or capital B lowercase b, your phenotype is brown eyes, because the dominant brown allele takes charge. But if your genotype is lowercase b, you will have the phenotype of green eyes. From Mendel's garden to the trillions of cells in your body right now, genetics is the language of life. You are the living result of 4 billion years of successful instructions. Study the code, because the code is you.
Like, share, and hit the bell so you never miss a Biobeatstune video.